Evening, everybody. I am 4 minutes late, and I'm so sorry about that. Some things came. I was like, "Ooh, gotta get things going," but hopefully, I'll be showing on Twitter, and soon I'll be seeing on my YouTube, Facebook, of course. And I didn't get to tag it like I wanted to, but I'm still learning the presentation thing, and I'm trying as much as I can to get things going here. So soon to be joining me is Sandra and Alan, and they are the hosts of Twin Flame Divine Fire, and they are a radio show that has. We're kind of carrying. We're the Truth Refugee, right? So since we're on Truth Refugee and we are the truth, the refugee for the truth, we will be having a lot of people in. Okay, now I'm waiting for them to show up. Oh, there they are. And go ahead and unmute your mic, please. Let's see if I can get them up. Oh, let's see, where did they go? Auto, let's try that. Duo. Let's see if we can get them on here now. I need their also for their camera to be enabled. That would be that would be nice. Yeah. So, they're still muted. Okay. At the bottom of the screen, if you guys can hear me, at the bottom of your screen, you should see a microphone, and it's probably got a line in it. Unmute it. Uh, there you go. Okay, so talk. Let's see if you guys are there. Hi, there she is. There's Sandra. I can hear her giggling.
Oh,
Okay.
There's Ellen. Hello. Did you guys weather that storm okay?
oh,
Uh,
all right. Here, hang on. There we go. Sorry.
Hey, there you are. A little bit blurry. I guess it'll come into focus here in a few minutes. I'm glad. You guys look good. You guys look
thank
Oh,
cozy.
you.
Amazing.
man,
It's like cozy, cozy. I'm doing the blue font today. Can you notice?
it looks great.
Thanks. So everybody, it's so good to see you guys. Really, it's been a while.
Good to see you too. It's been way too long.
I know. We've got to get back in this, and we got to get in it hard, especially with the stuff going on. Oh my God. I can sit back
Right.
now. Okay, pushing my key. Let me take a look at one thing. Let's see if I'm showing up on Twitter yet. I should be. Let's see. Go to my profile. It'll be there if anywhere. Yes,
Can
there
we
we are.
share?
We are live on X. We are live on probably everything else too.
Yay.
Nice. All right. I
Okay, so get this. This is the beautiful thing about Rumble Studio, and if anybody from Rumble happens to look in, thank you. This is a fan. Stop shaking the table. Talking to myself. Um, I want to say thanks to Rumble for this ability to restream to all these different platforms. So you can with Rumble Studio, and it's free. Okay. You can not only do live streams from Rumble, you can also it'll post on your YouTube. You got to set it up. You post it to your YouTube, your Facebook, X. Brooks, he's like a platform. I almost said the wrong word. He's a platform spreader. He goes everywhere. Okay. He's on D Live, Twitch, and all these things, and he multicasts to all of them. So you don't have to pay for those
wow.
services that send you. There's this one particular. I have to say thanks to Restream.io because they used to do the same. Well, they do the same, but there's a fee that goes along with that. But with Rumble, it's free. I like
We're
free.
having a hard time hearing you.
Oh, are you? Okay, let's see what.
Hey,
There
that
you
was
go.
Okay, what's going on? Just a moment. It might be. Is your internet going freaky because of the storms or no?
no.
Yeah.
We're good.
You went like this. I'm like, okay. Oh, that
Good.
was yes. Yes.
Bob that answer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're good. No.
Good. All right. Okay, so we got to catch up because we'll probably see some folks coming in from different places, especially the old. The I'm not afraid to say the name of the place or anything like that. It's just okay. Let's see.
It's like going in and out.
From me, okay.
There
Let's see.
you go. There you go.
I haven't changed anything.
You had to hold your mouth just so. Don't you know it?
Yeah. Right. I think that's it. But boy, the dialogue's going to be weird.
It'll be like, hello, Cheyenne. How are you?
Yeah, we'll get it all worked out.
Yeah, right. Anyway, so I'm sorry about this. So we're okay. We got to catch up. That's what we got to do is catch up, and then we got to figure out and forecast for the future what's going on out there. All right, I'm just checking because my microphone is right here, so it's not like far away or anything like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Um, now the what's I lost track of where we were, but oh yeah, so I was thanking Rumble for having this ability to just spread everywhere, and the same with Twitter, former Twitter, now X. Let me go this way. Looks like I'm off center, just kind of crawling off into your world over there. Would that
Come
be
on.
neat or not? It's like, hey guys, we're over here now.
That'd be cool if we could do that.
I know. Dude, that's how we're going to teleport. That's probably how we're going to teleport in the future. We're
Right.
going to be able to do this and then, hey, look, Elon Musk is catching his rocket, his boosters. Okay, catching the boosters
Right.
from.
It was crazy.
No, it's not. Actually, we were told it was crazy to think it would happen.
Right.
NASA is controlling everything. Think about it this way: the limitations we've had for space travel and all things space is because NASA was controlling it,
Yeah.
and they had a lot of money from us. I mean, they got a lot of government money for what they did. They have a lot to answer up to now. They have a lot of things to answer.
There's a lot of those agencies have a lot to answer for.
Mm-hmm.
A
Yeah.
lot of them.
Right, and now that Elon Musk has taken over, it's like, well,
Mhm.
he's taken over the space race, if you will, and he's very, very, what is the word? Efficient.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Um, so anyway, he's taken over that. But anyway, the Starlink system, communications are moving forward leaps and bounds, and we're
Right.
able to. Can you imagine 10 years ago that we'd be able to stream to multiple places at the same time without
No.
being mainstream media? Huh, mainstream
No.
media host, they're gone. Totally
They should be.
as well. Yes, they should because
Yeah.
they have violated trust over and over and over again on our dime. You know.
Yep.
So anyway, okay. Now you guys are somewhere in Arkansas.
Mhm.
And when I saw that, I was like, when I saw that on the maps, I was like, oh my gosh. Because, I mean, my sister, she lives in Oklahoma. She is prepared for that kind of weather. Everybody knows Oklahoma, that's Tornado Alley. Well, you guys are in
Yeah.
Tornado Alley too. But
We're
then
not
again,
far-
it's mine now.
yeah.
It's shifted to the east, kind of like how in politics, all the centrists have been shifted to the right and all that stuff, So,
Yeah.
We do have the phone
Yeah.
sitting right by us. So if there's an alert, it'll beep really loud and you'll know we're under a tornado warning.
Yeah.
is it ever loving bejesus out of you?
Right. Yeah. We'll do a quick wrap when that happens, if it happens.
We don't get too freaked out
No.
because we contacted people early on and said we need to dissipate or reroute this thing, and it has saved. Forgive my French. It has saved our butts.
Oh, it was the coolest looking thing, Lucky. You would really appreciate this. I was looking at it just a little while ago, the live weather radar, because we watch two people whenever we have this kind of weather. Ryan all y'all, and then another group of guys from right here in Arkansas. Oh yeah, I don't have my coffee. That's what I drink my coffee out of, by the way, every day.
Me too. You can see the
Yeah.
cream on the edge right there. See?
But anyway, I was sitting there looking at it earlier today, and it was so funny because right now there's a huge line of storms going from like southwest to northeast,
I saw that.
Oklahoma City area. And then there's another line just to the east of us in Arkansas. And I mean, right down the middle, it's like
We're
a
right
lawnmower
here.
went right through it. And we're in this perfect little calm patch.
Yeah.
So
That's
we're
cool.
like, thank
Yay.
you.
And that storm, those the Helene storms. Hang on a second. It gets me every time. It's like it kind of did this pivot around me. That Helen storm. It was supposed to hit. Excuse me for getting all weepy or whatever. What is this? Anyway, but that thing just it like did this really weird, which I'm not overly surprised by because that's a habit we have. Me and weather, same thing
Right.
with those tornadoes that ripped through Chattanooga, and it's like I could hear it. I mean, and I when that happened, I was like, just went outside and like, yo, I didn't do it, girl. Don't get me. I didn't do it. What
And
else? Hey, right? Um, excuse me. Um, so anyway, well, I'm just glad you guys are okay over there. It's like everything, you're not shaking, rattling, or being lifted off into space. Okay, so we're good. Um, so tell everybody, what have you been up to and where are we at? What's going on?
Oh,
oh
well,
man,
first of all, I know that you and Freeman have been working tirelessly to kind of get us going, and get us set up on Rumble, and we thank you guys so much.
mm,
You're
Uh,
welcome.
it really is going to be a good change for us, I think,
yeah.
in a lot of different ways. So we're a little slow out of the box here, but once we get rolling, I know we're going to be rolling pretty well. And I mean, basically, all we're doing right now is we are just trying to tread water. We're
Hold steady.
trying to go with the flow of everything because I'm getting ready to turn 62 at the end of the month. Okay,
Mhm.
and I've been around a little bit,
Mhm.
and I have to tell you that we're not immune to feeling the effects of everything that is going on, not only national but all across the planet.
Right.
So we're just like everyone else. We're just trying to go with the flow, uh, be aware of what's going on, but not freaking out over it.
Right.
And we're getting there. We're doing fine. We're taking a day at a time, doing what's in front of us as
Mhm.
it presents itself.
Yeah.
We're just going with it.
We very seldom anymore freak out. Even we'll be the calmest ones in the room.
Yeah,
Um,
Right.
even with tornadoes, because it's like,
yeah,
okay, we're very much about the energy, not so much the brain and what is occurring. And if we
Mhm.
can keep ourselves in a calm state,
Right.
we're able to shift things. And um, we've had a lot of things that have occurred, a
yeah.
lot, and we're just in this space right now. We're very grateful. We've experienced it while we were going through it. I don't think so. It was like, you spin a little bit and then you're like, oh, we're doing this now.
Yeah,
Well, and we've done it before, right? We've been through
Right.
this kind of thing before, the energetic flux and flows and things like that, and how to get back in it and find your feet. Because, it's like if you're thrown out in the middle of a river in a storm and everything, it's going to take a minute to find your feet. It's like
Right.
and
right.
find a trustworthy surface on which to tread. I get that. I'm listening here. I'm going like, mm-hmm. We've
Mhm.
Some of us have been through all this before. Now, if we're talking to a 20-year-old, especially when my younger neighbors, I'm like, hey, this is just, it's a new thing, it's just another cycle.
Right.
It's a little bit different, of course, because what I equate it to, that flowing thing that Tesla had invented, and it goes, wait a minute, let's see if I get, there we go. It goes like this, right? And it I forget what it's called. I'm not an electrician. I'm not a engineer. So it's this channel. You have the channel, and the water flows like this at alternating things, right?
Hmm.
And it's like not turbo. I forget what it's called. I'm sorry, guys. Like I said, I'm not an engineer. I don't know the stuff. And all you have to do is turn it around the other way in order for it to flow. Maximum effective use of energy and the flow of water or electricity or whatnot.
Yeah,
I forget. So that's kind of like what we're going through if we think about it. It's like, oh, we're used to this. Everybody else is expecting to be able to go shoo right through the problems and shoo, or there's a little snag here. No, no, no. It's a constant. It's that figure eight thing going on all the way down.
yeah.
And
Oh, the Tesla coil.
No,
no, not the coil.
oil. I kind of know what you're talking about, but I don't know what it's called either.
No,
So yeah,
and
we're
yeah. Anyway, it's. I mean, and I'm sure that there's some engineers watching this right now and understanding what I'm talking about.
well, as long as they do.
I call them.
I'm not an engineer.
No, nor I.
Why is there no, let's see, why is the chat not live? Hang on a second here. Let's see what's going on. Live chat, no live chats yet. You'll see. Okay. Nope. I don't see it. Okay. I don't see
Okay.
anything on the chats, but that's okay. We'll see soon. We'll see soon.
I need to. Can I share that link that you sent, Lucky,
To whom?
to Facebook?
Or
And
no?
No. No.
oh, okay, all right, no problem.
No, dear. No, dear. That's how you get in studio here with me on this episode right now.
Okay, all right,
It's
all
okay.
right.
It's okay. It's okay. No, that's how you get in here.
I don't
That's how
want to
we
do
end
that.
this.
Nope. Mm-mm.
But yeah. So anyway, so you guys have had a lot of storms. You guys had some crazy storms, and it seems like it's always crazy storms over there. Am I right?
Yeah.
If it's not crazy storms, it's crazy heat.
I know. Wow.
We had our air condition went out this year, right in the middle of 110-degree
Yeah.
weather.
Yeah.
God,
Got
man.
blazing.
And even Alan and I seem to have this way with we'll have these horrific experiences, but then turn around and have the exact opposite, these wonderful experiences.
Yeah.
And so we believe that that is going into the void or the 0 point or whatever. This is the balance of the two energies. Life is
Right.
more about energy than it ever is about thought. We have to learn to get in that space where we're retraining our thought to
Mm-hmm.
listen to the inner knowing.
Mm-hmm. Well,
And
Freeman said something earlier today. He said you can't do the balancing act if you're not moving. And he's right. I was a gymnast. I was on a balance beam, and the thing about the balance beam, yeah, you can sit there and balance and everything and sit still and everything, but you're not going to get anything done unless you're moving and balanced. And it's easier if you're moving and get balanced. I don't know how to explain it. It's a gymnast thing, but on the balance beam, it's like you have to move in order to get your balance. I don't,
right.
Yeah.
yeah. So that's what we're doing is we're getting movement going. You have to move. We're kind
Yeah.
of like sharks. It's like you gotta, in order to live, you have to move.
That's true.
Well, and we had a moment where we had to be in the stillness of this.
Yeah.
And then it was like,
Yeah.
wow, everything went boom today. So it told us this whole knowing that we're in a convergence was spot on.
Yeah.
Awesome. Oh, so nice. Is that when I had called you or something like that? Was that in the
No,
midst of that?
everything that could happen today,
It just started happening.
it just started happening.
Yeah.
Nice.
The movement is
That's
we're coming
It's
out of
pretty
it.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah. And you guys deserve to be able to come out of that because you guys have been in the void for a while and I've missed you. A lot of us have missed you so much. And
Uh-huh.
maybe it's a good thing we had to go through all that.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of times when, especially whenever we're doing like broadcast things like you do and we do,
Hmm.
you have to be out there, but there is a time too when you just have to take a vacation, so to speak,
Hmm.
back up, gather your energy back up, reassess, reground, and then,
Disconnect from everything.
yeah, and then go back at it whenever you're ready to run it and hit the ground running.
Right. And it's kind of like, it's like that transition from one. Well, it's kind of like moving houses, right? You're in
Yeah,
one house and you have to move to another house. There's a grieving process in leaving that old house.
very
I
true.
think I'm saying that gently and politically enough, right?
Well, we just knew that there were energies and we're all about the energy. So um, we're really linked into the energy and the people that we put our love and creative energy into. And
Hmm.
when you reach a certain convergence and the universe goes, okay, level up,
Hmm.
everything is like a atom bomb exploding and everything starts to fall apart.
Right.
And rather than panicking, you have to know, oh, it's reinventing itself.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. There's been times I've needed to talk to you guys, and it's like, oh man, it's like, well, now what we need to do, okay, now that we've connected, we got to get tech. We got to get the tech all upgraded and refined, and file off all the rusty spots and refinish it, that kind of thing.
Right.
That's what we do. Got to get that tech going out there. Um, yeah. So, okay. So let's do this. I don't know how to do the description afterwards. I'll do it. I'll edit it later. But I forgot to ask you earlier today to send me an email with all your links and everything because I would like very much to see an ability for you guys to be able to like get Starlink. That I think that would be very helpful. Have you gone to the Starlink thing, the Starlink website to see if you can get services there?
No.
Well, there are a couple people in here that do get Starlink. Um,
Oh,
yeah, and
Yeah.
Starlink is one of those things where we went with Verizon because it was a hot box and we were moving and we've always had
And
internet no
it
matter where we were.
and somebody suggested it, saying it was fairly inexpensive and very reliable. So
hmm. Well,
But
I had the same, my initial resistance was because of the cost outlay that was going to be for all the equipment, excuse me. But after time, for me, it was just not time for me to, put out that kind of money for equipment and things like that.
right,
But the, so what I wanted, now it's like it's gotten reasonable and you can take it with you. That's the beautiful thing. It's like it's not like
yeah,
you're router from your internet service provider and a one-time or version use of those antenna thingies for for your hotspots and stuff like that.
right.
I'm talking about industry specific. Granted, Starlink is industry specific, but he's got a freaking constellation of satellites up there, and you can always
Right.
tap this wherever you are.
right,
Now, I would recommend, like in your case, because you could move in the future, maybe not right now, but I would get um, as Freeman had said, he said it sounds like the best thing is oh shoot, the version 4, the fourth iteration that they've got. It's a bigger plate, so you get better reception. The speeds are amazing. So I didn't mean to turn this into a Starlink ad, but anyway, sorry. Hey, Elon, hit me up, yo. Come on, bro. Why don't you hook them
Right.
right.
up? There we go. That's what you do.
Oh,
You get
dear,
on
bro.
They're Twin Flame Divine or Twin Flame 111111 on Twitter, okay, or excuse me, X, and yeah, hook them up, bro. We need them. We really need them on the air and doing. And the beautiful thing about it is, like, you can also use if you have a cell phone, you can use the Wi-Fi for cell phone use. And you said you got Verizon. I don't know which one's doing it over there. Anyway, aside from that. So we're trying to get tech up and running, and so how's the mist, your clearing
Well,
mist? How's it
the
going?
the mist is one of those things where it's kind of slowed down because number one, we're not out there. Um, and so we really want to get it promoted and let people know how amazing this stuff is.
Oh, that stuff is awesome. Okay, I have to say, well, I've told you, I've done quite a few, what are they called? Testimonies, if you will. I love that stuff. And yeah, I am not going to carry a smudge stick with me in the car to go to
Right.
court or anything else or go to whatever I'm doing. That doesn't go over very well, but just a few sprays that, hey, it sets you up. Granted, yes, like every period, or quarter of a, you can 4 times a year
Right.
or once a year, whatever your ritual is. Do your house up with the sage, the sage and everything like that. Sage it out, got it. But for your touch ups, it's like, hey, that's great stuff, and
Right.
worth every penny, especially since it's organic and you get to keep the shungite that's in the can.
Right. And you can spray
Yeah.
it and actually breathe it in. It helps your skin. It
Yeah.
helps your breathing. I mean, it ups the amount of oxygen going to your brain by 69%.
That's brilliant.
So you
Well,
can
because
spray
one
it.
of the oils in it, one of the 6 oils that we use in it is frankincense oil.
Hmm.
So there you go. And I know they did a study out of the University of Glasgow, and they found that it increased the oxygen level going to the brain so quickly and so immediately that they started using frankincense oil for brain injury therapy.
Really?
Yeah,
That's fascinating.
yeah.
Oh.
It's amazing. And I mean, that's just only one of the 6 oils that we have.
Yeah.
We have the common sage, the white sage.
Mm-hmm.
In addition to the frankincense, there's also cedar wood, lavender, and rosemary in it. And these are all the highest quality organic oils that we can get because we didn't want to put just anything in there. If we were going to do it,
We were going to do it
you're going to
right.
do it right.
Right. And that's why I said it's worth every penny. I mean, because you've got all these fantastic ingredients, plus a shungite. I'm sorry, I'm a shungite fan. No, no,
Yeah.
We have shungite all over the place.
Royal shungite, a little what I don't even know how big it. About the size of a pea.
Yeah, it's small.
Oh,
So
but
oh, it sounds like it's bigger in there. It's like,
yeah, it does.
That's good though. You know, I mean, it is a meteor, right? I mean, did you see what I did there?
It's-
lucky.
it- how many times have you went out into public and when you get out there, it's just,
Mhm.
it's horrible. You can just feel it in the air. And you can ask Alan, we don't step foot out of this RV
No.
without spraying ourselves.
Especially
And then
not
I
now.
carry one in my purse
Mhm.
and I spray it when I get around people. And I'm like, I've
Yep.
literally came across energies that almost knocked me off my feet. I almost pass out.
Do you spray him saying, "You got the cooties"? You know.
No, I'm spraying myself and I'm walking past them, so they're getting it. And there are several people that go, "What is that?" And I said, "Oh, this is a clearing mist."
Yeah,
This-
she's going around crop
Yeah,
dusting
oh, yeah.
people. Yeah.
I leave one in the truck with Alan. Okay, anybody comes up to the truck and wants to tell you their life story, spray.
Which thankfully that doesn't happen anymore, but not much.
What is this? Wait a minute. They're trying to tell you their life story. What's
Yeah.
this? You got this magnet where people tell you their life story. Oh, well, you know.
Yeah, and boy, you get the super abridged version, but you get a version.
I could be
That's
in the
crazy.
store 10 minutes and come out and he can tell me about somebody's whole life.
You know what? Give them your business card and say, you know what? You can call this number and for $50 an hour, you can tell me your life story.
We need a good marketer like Lucky.
Oh, we do.
Yeah.
Well, you guys have marketable skills, you know.
Right.
It's actually a good idea. Actually, come to think of it, it's like, hey, if I have to listen to you, I should get paid. You know, I know. You know what? You know, in the old, we're going into a new era, so I'm going to call the old era the previous. You know, think about it this way. I mean, psychologists, that's all they're doing.
Yeah.
They're just listening, and how did that make you feel? Well, do you think I felt about it? You know,
No shit.
I'm serious. I've had people do that thing, and how did that make you feel? I'm like, I was in the emergency room. How the hell do you think I felt? You know?
Right.
This question, you know, they're wanting you to process the emotions, but that you know, that catchphrase, it was like during the 90s they were doing that. Ugh. It's like, no, get somebody who listens and, you know, it's like is able to say, well, you know, you said this and remember what you said. You know, you guys are great listeners. You can do that. Just, hey, I'll listen. I'll actively listen. You know, that was a business idea Paisley and I had some time ago. Is you're on your way home from work and you're angry. You're one of these white suit or white shirt white collar, you know, dudes that got the tie loosened up and he's on his way home, you know, and he doesn't want to go in the door all, and the wife doesn't want to hear his shit, you know, because he's been at work all day. It's the same every day because the stupid guy did this and the CEO did this and blah, 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 blah. It's the same thing every day. So instead of that, you can call this number and for $20, you know, $20 for a 15-minute phone call, you get to just vent, let it all out.
You know, that's what we do for a living.
There you go.
We should set up a 1-800 number for this. We talked about it on air. We gotta hurry up and do this now. You know that, right? You
Why
get
not?
15 minutes to just let it all out. We'll listen and we'll hear you. And we'll be like, oh, wait a minute. You said this. Well, what did they do that? Wait a minute. You just said that he did this. What about that? You have to actively listen,
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
I think that's half the problem for everybody. And women too. When we get off of work, we just, the grudge and everything. It's like it's like we want to and we let it out on our significant others. And when we get home and things like that, and it's like they don't want to hear all that stuff. Ladies, look, guys do not want to hear a 1 hour dissertation on how that bitch at the secretary's desk did this and this and this. He don't want to hear it. We got things to do.
yep,
So opt in for the service. And it's like for 15 minutes, you get to say whatever you want, except for trying that you're going to kill them, because if you start talking about crime, we have to report it. But so don't say it if you don't want it, that kind of thing. Gotta be legal. But yeah, this is a new era. Let's do it.
yeah. Why not?
We
I mean,
love talking to people. I
I mean-
think if they hold it in and they're feeling that anger or the frustration or the rage or anything like that, they just hold it in and they start stacking it. And it creates an energy of my reality really sucks right now. I'm holding all this in, and eventually you're going to get sick.
Well, and not only that, it's all that energy. I don't know what else to call it, but calcifies. And it starts changing your personality profile and your spiritual profile. If you got all this calcified, pent up emotions, it's going to, when that stuff breaks, it's going to break on your facade and it's going to hurt.
Right.
You need to let it out now so that you could be, you have your normal skin, your normal spiritual skin, if you will. But yeah, sometimes you just have to talk it out. That doesn't mean you have to talk people to death, but at the same time, it's like, if you want to do that talking people to death thing, you need to go ahead and start paying them. Pay the person, make it worth their while.
You can go to our page, Twin Flame Divine Fire, and you go to services, and we don't promote it because we truly believe if someone needs us, they will find us, and generally that's happened.
Yeah.
But we have our services up there and how much we charge.
Absolutely.
And it's something that we do, and we just make sure we don't do too many of them a day. I've been instructed, don't do more than 3 a day. It will make you sick.
Good.
Tops.
Good. Because it's like, as much as you can spray that mist, girl, it's not going to go through the screen, that kind of thing. Yeah. I know that.
Very good.
I've done it before. It's like, you got the goodie.
We keep it by us at all times.
Always got it here.
There it is.
Oh, right on. There you are. There you are. No, I've got it over there behind the screen here, so it's like I'm not going to go on the screen. Yeah.
If we have trouble with the computer, we spray around the computer,
Sure.
and it clears the energy.
Yeah, yeah.
Awesome. That is. You guys okay?
No, we're good.
We're good. It goes beep beep beep.
Oh, yeah,
beep
you know.
If we've got a warning.
Yeah.
So
We're good.
Yeah. Do you know what's funny? It's like I've turned off all those alerts. I forgot all about that. The what are they called? The emergency alert system. Yeah. All of that is turned off my phone. I won't have it because if you let one agency have access to do it, it seems like all the agencies take over. Like Amber Alert.
Mm-hmm.
Memphis, Tennessee is 8 hours away from me.
mm-hmm.
Okay. There's no reason for you to sit there and scare the ever-loving bejesus out of me. Because some little girl got snatched by her dad out in Memphis. Oh, especially at 2 a.m. No. There's nothing I can do. I live out in the woods. What in the hell am I going to be able to do for you?
Right. We're out in the
Same
woods
here.
too.
What,
We
tweet
turned it on just for today, just for going in.
Mhm.
So in case we missed something, because we generally watch it pretty close. So we turned it on for today.
Okay.
Just in
Gotcha.
case.
Gotcha.
So it's normally we'll
Like
have
you.
people knocking on the door. Did you get the alert? Did you get the alert? What alert?
You now.
Yeah,
If you have neighbors like that, you don't need the alert, right?
All right. We go down to bare minimum. Okay. what are we doing today? And we'll set that schedule. And we have signs that we literally put up that say, do not disturb us.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Um, so we don't have people knocking down the door. If we don't put the sign up, we do have people
Yeah,
knocking
well,
down
we
the door.
just found that if we don't put it up, someone invariably comes up. You know, we can be free 23 hours of the day, but the 1 hour of the day that we're talking to someone that we're really trying to work with, someone will come up and knock on the door. So
The
that's why
energy
we
just
put it up.
ramps up. It ramps up. It ramps up.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
they
Wow.
show up at the door.
Wow. Okay. So sounds like Halloween on trucks over there, something. you know, no, it's funny. It's like out here. One time we needed the police out here for some kind of report or whatever have you, something, I don't know. It was like last year, and they were afraid to come all the way back here. I had the porch light on, the kitchen light on, all the lights were on. They were afraid to come back in this area. It was so dark because,
Wow.
well, we're in the country. There's no street lights back here. It's very dark, and you can see the
There's
stars.
no street lights here either.
Yeah.
And so the thing, there's no storefronts or anything. We are remote. I love it. It's like, yeah. As a matter of fact, you might hear some coyotes doing roll call. Which, if they get too close, I'll have to do something because we've got a farm next door, a hobby farm, and they got piglets and
Ooh.
chickens and things like that. Oh yeah. So, but what I heard it the other day, and I'm like, "Where's my kitty? Give me your kitty, kitty." She's fine. She knows how to hide. This girl has been hiding for years. She's got it down. So anyway, so the thing is, but when they were afraid to come back here, I was like, are you serious? You guys got spotlights and LEDs and light bars and all that stuff, and they were scared to come back here. They thought it was a trap or something. They were like, it's spooky. Get that. You guys, what? We live out here.
Right.
Did this cricket scare you to the frogs? What is it? Good grief. But hey, if the cops are scared, then so will others be, I don't cotton to I don't like cowards near me anyway, so, cause they're, to me, a coward is more dangerous than an armed enemy. Okay.
Yeah.
That's,
We're like really
Yeah.
protected and really blessed here because we have patrol officers coming through here a couple times a day, a couple times at night, and they're checking in. If a storm hits, they're driving through to see if anybody needs help.
Yeah.
And there's very few people here.
oh, wow. Well, that's good. I mean, that they're checking on you. I mean, with all the horror stories we've heard in the past, it's like, I'm glad to hear that there's some that's very good.
Yeah.
I like that. I like hearing good stories like that. All right. So, okay. So twinflamedivinefire.com. What's your PayPal?
Twinflamedivinefire.com.
Okay. There it is. All right. So there's that. Now let's talk about the future.
Oh,
Talk about what?
the future.
Oh,
Yeah.
future.
Yeah. We're on the cusp of an election, and it's supposed to be the most important election in our lifetimes. How many times have we heard this?
All my life.
It's the most
All my
important. It's like, yeah. Okay. Anyway, so at least the difference is we got the outsider again. He, the thing, I think the reason why he won the first time, Trump, is because he was an underdog. Everybody loves an underdog. We love our underdogs. We're American. We love our underdogs. We went up against the most powerful Navy and military in the whole world at our founding. We like underdogs. And, ooh, I'm sorry. Did you see it happen? Did you see what just happened? I'll get back here. I'm sorry. I'm coming back. So we like
The future looks very bright. Very
yeah. Okay.
such a bright light that you can't dim it,
Okay. Good.
no matter what.
Yeah, I think we're going to see. I think in a lot of ways there's going to be a huge unifying chain of events.
A huge purge.
Oh, oh, okay. Wait a minute. So, unifying chain of events. I want to discover both of these avenues here. Okay, so the unifying chain of events.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they already happened, but do tell, Alan, please. What do you mean
Well,
by?
no, I think we've been seeing them, but there's a lot of things that are going into it. I mean, I think that the people. Okay, you're just talking about as a collective, right? The future
Mhm.
as a collective.
People, America? Yeah.
Yeah, I just see a big unification happening now. That's not going to. It's kind of like a wound, like whenever you fall off your bike and you get gravel dug into your skin.
Yeah.
It's not going to be like real pretty right at first, but once you get the wound cleaned out,
And you put
debrided,
the wonderful salve on it.
yeah, get
Mhm.
it bandaged up, then things are going to be pretty good. I just think that the nation as a whole, the world in general, is
Mhm.
is going to see. You know what? We've been being lied to a lot, a lot.
Mhm.
We've been being deceived enormously, and people are seeing it. I think they're waking up.
Mhm.
They're opening their eyes. Not everybody, but a vast majority of people, I think, are, or a majority, and they're going to be like, okay, now we know that we're on our own. We're not going to take it, and we're going to do what we need to do. And I think more people, no matter which side of the aisle you're on, are going to be coming together.
And you really need to know that you're here and designated for this particular time deliberately so
Mhm.
that we could see and hold steady to shift the energy and transmute it.
Yeah,
And and you can see that we're kind of going around it because here's what I believe. If we go too far in one direction, we push it that way. If we go too far in the other direction, we push it that way. Alan and I are here to establish the positivity of everything, stand steady no matter what it looks like, and understand that's what we're here to do. And we went most of our lives not doing that. And for the past 12 years, we've been doing that.
mm-hmm.
And as long as we can stand steady in the energy and look at both sides without any judgment, without really putting a whole lot of our energy into it,
Mhm.
then things start to shift. And that's what a convergence is: old energy, new
Mhm.
energy. It's trying to come in, it's
Mhm.
trying to shift. But if we look at it the old way or the old computer program that we used,
Mhm.
it's real easy to get in and maneuver, and something new coming in is going to be difficult.
Right.
But
Yeah,
it's overlapping. So do
yeah.
we choose to be smothered, or do we choose to let the old fall away and the new to come into play and thrive, not survive, thrive.
Right. I think that's what a lot of us have been doing for the past, well, especially 4 years.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm about to dip the toes into the politics now. I mean, real politics, because if you recall, for the past 4 years, we've had some very crazy stuff going on.
very.
There's a lot of people. The economy is just, some people do not understand that the economy is really bad. Anybody who's related to or close has secondary or tertiary contact with government. If you've got government, you're working with government, you're doing fine. The people who don't have any relationship to government whatsoever as far as income, or jobs, or occupation, whatnot, they they're not seeing anything. I have never in my life ever heard about a concrete pouring job not having any work. We're always
Right?
building. This
Yeah,
country is always building. There's always concrete work to be done.
yeah,
I was about stunned when I heard that there was no concrete work going on for the next couple of weeks until after the election, because they don't know which way it's going to go. They're out of money. People
yeah,
are out of money. These businesses are out of money,
yeah.
because of what policies have taken place and everything. And I mean, we could sit here and say, well, we're esoteric and we're spiritual minded, and we're not we're subscribing to the authorities or the powers of money keeping us down. Hold the phone. Money makes things happen. It's a currency. I like a friend of mine has said many times before. It's like electricity and water. It has to flow.
Right.
Flow
Yeah,
in, flow out. Flow in, flow out. You can't sit there and hoard it. You can't sit there and eschew it. You have to let it flow. It's got to go. You need it for this and that and the other. You got to hire people because we do have currency. Now, if we were on the barter system and everything was equal and we were truly free, we would be able to trade our apples for eggs and whatnot, and be fine.
Right.
But
And not get rated by the USDA or FDA.
oh, have you guys heard of Thomas Massey?
Oh,
Thomas Massey, the Kentucky representative. I like him. If I hope he gets Speaker of the House. I hope he gets Speaker of the House because he's more libertarian than most. Um, he has sensible. He reminds me of Jim Traficant and Ron Paul.
hmm
You remember Jim Traficant? Yeah.
yeah.
Thomas Massey. So he's got his stuff together, and he's an engineer from MIT, right? So he's got brains.
Wow.
Oh yeah, and he doesn't allow foreign countries' lobbyists to come into his office. No foreign agents or lobbyists are allowed in his office. He doesn't let them. Everybody
Good
else,
for,
no problem. All your other congressmen, they're like, thanks, man. Yeah, you know. But he
mm,
doesn't authorize it. But he was on Tucker. You guys missed out on a lot if you haven't been. If your internet has been that sketchy. Tucker Carlson interview with Thomas Massey is a must watch. Joe Rogan and Donald Trump, Joe Rogan and JD Vance, Theo Vaughn and JD Vance. That's a must. I think you guys would really appreciate that one in your line of work. Theo Vaughn and JD Vance. I don't know if you've seen it.
yeah.
Really good. Really good. Heartfelt. I like JD Vance, not just because he was a Marine also, but he was an enlisted Marine. Okay. So he wasn't
Right.
just an officer,
It wasn't a ROTC kid.
Do what?
It wasn't a ROTC kid.
Exactly. Yeah, you know what that is. So he
I
wasn't.
got this.
He came from real meager beginnings. So he understood using the military to elevate oneself. Yep, same story for many Marines. And he was in public affairs. He was a journalist. That was his field of work in the Marine Corps as
Okay.
enlisted. So, and he was overseas in campaigns and stuff, and he had to report on combat situations. So, yeah, he knows all about media. He knows how to directly look at the camera like this, just directly make eye contact with the people behind the camera. I'm not good at it, but he is.
That's a
I
skill.
love the debate between him and what's her name, and what's his name, Tim Waltz, because every time Tim Waltz, he would look at the camera like, did you see that? I'm like, whoa. So he has true camera control or mic control. He knows all the stuff that the media is doing. He can see them. He sees all the cues that's going on out there. He knows exactly what they're doing better than they do because he had to do it for the military. And they're strict. And the schooling that they go through is very intensive. So very intense, excuse me, not intensive. Their schooling is very intense. Um, so I like JD Vance, and if he decides to go for presidency, I might go with that. I don't know between Thomas Massey and him, but then again, we really need Thomas Massey to stay in Congress. That's my feeling. I'm sorry, I'm going on again. What do you guys think? I'm supposed to be interviewing you.
Excuse me. Not that Lucky ever tends to go.
No,
No.
never,
No.
never.
So shy and demure.
No, I can honestly tell you there is no one that really can tip us, and get us to go there.
No.
Oh, okay.
Not because we don't have our opinion,
Oh,
but
we have our
we
opinion.
have our opinion.
Absolutely.
And but there's enough opinions. What we need is people to hold steady and not have an opinion. Because the opinions are what makes the emotions run wild. And
Okay.
so if we're working with someone and they lean one way, we don't go there. If they lean another way, we don't go
Don't
there.
go there.
It's like we're holding steady.
Right.
And there are many people that are holding steady in certain parts of this country
Mm-hmm.
simply because it's a very hard thing to do right now.
Okay.
Yeah, the emotions can run high. And so it's not that we don't like talking about it. We do.
Okay.
We just do it between
Right.
us.
Oh, okay.
So it's like, I probably shouldn't say that, huh? But we do.
We do.
We have our opinions. And we feel, let's put it this way, we feel safe expressing it to one another. But in
I
the line of work we're doing, it is not. Um,
Everything has gotten to be so divided, I think, is what she's trying to say. And if someone is having an issue,
mhm.
a spiritual issue, a connectivity issue, whatever it is, and we're going to be talking to them about that, we want to be able to talk to them about that, and we don't want any of the, the thing that they tell you never to talk about is religion and politics,
Yeah.
you know. So, I mean, with us, when it comes to that, it's business first. If they know where we lean, unless we explicitly let them know that, then we
Mhm.
haven't done our job.
Okay. Nope. Fair enough. Fair enough. I get that. You've
you
got to
know,
keep.
Lucky, since you've known us, we are the positive couple,
Yeah.
and
True.
we will hold that steady. You know which way we lean. There are a lot of people that know which way we lean, but we don't express it publicly.
Right.
And only because there are a lot of people on both sides that are really in desperate need of someone to talk to. And
I didn't I was like, just what do you think? Because I was trying to shut up my mouth and pass the ball to you guys because I was like, I'm running off at the mouth again. That's why I was passing the ball to you, not because I was trying to.
Oh, no.
oh, okay.
I'm like, okay, I gotta shut up, pass it to them. Give it to them. Just shut up. Put the mouth
I
clamp on,
think, and everybody knows Alan's been in radio for years.
Yeah.
And I was the opposite end of the spectrum. I was in radio, but I was more in the sales of it. And Alan was on air. He's got a great voice, and he tends to comfort people with the resonance that he has in his voice.
He's got that nice calming, that hey, everything's okay. Selfish,
Right.
not self-assured, but everybody's assured that everything's okay. We're good. It's calm, and we're just going down this. We're just gonna like the ant. He's like the walking tree. It's very comforting. I'm sorry, I read Lord of the Rings when I was a very little girl, and I know that I would have been very comfortable in that tree. Just
Right?
along and talking and mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yes, I would. So Alanant, call him Alanant.
Now, what we would say is if you're looking for a little bit more peace in your life, and we understand that there's a lot of people who are going to be want to be informed of what's going on, because there's a certain amount. I mean, it matters. It does. We're all on this earth. I mean, it matters.
Yeah.
I would just say simply, and if you know what I mean, you know what I mean. If you don't, you don't. But I would just say, get your information from somewhere other than the traditional legacy media.
Absolutely.
First, foremost, top on the list, get rid of that and find alternative sources. I don't care who it is, but make sure you get your own credible sources, because was it last time I saw they had like a 13% trust rating?
Yeah, if that.
If that, and I'm being generous, so that's what I would offer up.
Right. Well, so the thing. Well, a lot of the stuff is political, but if I get why you don't want to go out there, because here's the thing: a lot of people are trying to escape it. It's inescapable for them because they watch TV or their children are watching TV. Campaign ads on freaking Pluto TV for kids. There's campaign ads.
Wow.
Children, leave them the fuck alone.
Right?
In a number of ways.
In a number of ways.
Oh, but yeah.
In a number of ways.
Oh dear. Yeah, we're not going to go down that dark road. I just, it's dark
Yeah,
outside. I don't want
yeah,
to talk about that right now.
There are such
yeah.
amazing, peaceful warriors out there. And I
Mhm.
don't want people to think because we're not talking about certain things that we're not warriors because we are badass warriors.
Oh, really? I mean, well, okay, so how is it that it was said in the Bible? Something like, pray in your closet, you know? Don't let the world know what you're doing. And yeah, yeah, that, you know?
Yeah.
Um, so I just can't wait for the election to be over because either way, for those of us out here outside of DC, it's kind of like there's a big boil of tension. It's like a big boil right there. And we don't care what the thing looks like. We just want that damn thing lanced. We're tired of the pressure.
Right.
Lance the bloody thing. We don't care if it's a Harris point or a Trump point. Just get it done
Yeah.
already. We're sitting there going, it's gonna hurt.
They
Yeah.
want us fighting amongst each other.
Hmm. Yeah.
Those badass warriors are saying, stop the fighting.
Yep.
Since when is it okay not to speak to anyone because they have a difference in opinion than you do?
We're just
Mm.
cut off many multi-year relationships because they have a difference of opinion than you.
Well, I think that
That's insane.
it is sad. It is truly sad.
It
But there's
is.
also, but I think it didn't start. It actually started a long, long time ago. It just culminated more visually in the
Right.
past 4 years, especially with the government telling you you have to have this vaccine or you're going to lose your job.
Yeah.
All these government employees who got vaccinated. It's like, and the United States government is the number one employer in the whole country. Most
Right.
of them
The
realize
only
that,
ones that added jobs last month.
right?
So
Last
you
month in the
tell
past
me.
4 years. I mean, I was a shoo-in for a job,
I love
and
you.
I was what? What did I miss that last part?
I said I love you.
Aw. But yeah, I was a shoo-in for a job, and because I wouldn't take the vaccine, I couldn't have it. I couldn't have the job, and I mean, I was the candidate for the job, and nope. Um, I'm thinking about all those military members who got kicked out of the military, bad conduct discharges. Um, that affects your record. That's a criminal record there.
They got bad conduct discharges for that.
People got bad conduct discharges for refusing the shots.
At
Well, you
worst,
remember
it should have been general. At
back in
worst.
the day when you were going to anywhere overseas,
Oh God.
they would line everybody up and you'd
Oh,
go down a hallway and they were giving you shots all the way.
we were like a pinball
telling
going
me
down
this,
the
right?
bumper.
Oh, have I ever told you that story when I went to Saudi Arabia when we were going to Desert Storm? They had us
No.
lined up against the wall, drop your drawers, and they had those pneumatic shots. The
Yeah.
vaccines were administered with a pneumatic in your butt cheeks, both sides of your butt cheeks. And then we were forced on a 20-mile march afterwards to make sure it worked its way through. That shit hurt, right? But here was the neat thing. You ready? And see, this was a harbinger for what was going to come next, of course. Um, the corpsman that was walking up and down the line while everybody else was getting their shots, and all the corpsmen were out there doing it. Um, she was talking back and forth. She was talking as she was pacing. She said, "When you get in country, you will not need any other shots. You have been totally and completely vaccinated for the region of the world you were going into. You need no more shots. Do you understand?" Of course, while we're getting administered pain while somebody's talking to us, it's like that's programming. I mean,
Mhm.
MK Ultra wasn't quite wrong, right? I mean, it worked, right? So, use it. Anyway, so what happened is when, after that, I get in country, I get into Saudi Arabia, and I went to sick bay so I can get some Sudafed for my sinuses, because it was wintertime in the desert, and I was getting sick. There was a lot of us getting sick, but I just needed help now. So I get in there to go get some Sudafed. The doctor looks at my record. He says, you haven't gotten these shots. And I was like, I repeated exactly verbatim what that woman said. I have been fully vaccinated for the full, blah, 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 right? And he told the two corpsmen to hold me. There was two other corpsmen in there. He's like, hold her. like that. He came at me with a needle. He couldn't explain what the stuff was. He couldn't even say the name of the damn stuff. I still don't know what it was. And he came after me with it, right? And had those corpsmen holding. I locked and loaded on all of them. I locked and loaded. I had an M16. I locked and loaded on him. I did. I'm not kidding. Yeah, there was a part of me that was scared at the time, of course, because I knew I was in deep shit, because that's bad. You get in trouble for that. But the thing is, it's like, you want to give me shots? I'll give you shots. You can't even pronounce the thing you're giving me. And I had already had my experience with military medical crazy stuff. I mean, one doctor that had operated on me, I found out later, had his license revoked because he had a habit of leaving sponges in the patient. And that he was still operating at Camp Lejeune Naval Hospital. He was still operating, and God, that guy was working. Oh God, So yeah, I have a problem with military medical. Everybody says you get free medical. Yeah, you get what you pay for too.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, so this thing about the vaccines. So when I had that experience in Saudi Arabia, and then I come back to the States, and of course, time flies on, and we're in 2020, and we know how we all stood about the COVID. Okay. I stood very much about the COVID. But I honestly think I was going to just all of a sudden, oh yeah, I'll take it this time. No. And the thing is, it's like, there's I have family members that took the cat vaccine. I've already grieved their deaths.
Right.
Okay. I've already grieved it. It's on its way. There's a lot of stuff in that. And now it's coming to the fore. Documents are being released. And especially with Massey's work, because he's looking at how they're trying to do vaccinations through food. Right. And that was the thing he just worked on today. If you can't, I just can't fathom how people don't understand that they're killing us. They're killing us with this, But then again, I did know this because back in the 90s, late 90s, early 2000s, I read a book from Eustace Mullins called Murder by Injection. And that was written back in the 80s. That guy, Eustace Mullins, he went to the basement of the archives, and he camped out there. He was living down there for 6 months. They didn't know. And he's going through all those congressional documents and everything like that in the National Archives.
Wow.
He was living down there for 6 months. This guy is epic as a researcher,
Dedicated. Wow.
What? Remember this
dedicated.
Remember the shot they used to give you in your arm when you were younger, and it would leave a scar?
Yeah, the scar. I've got one.
Okay. Alan and I both had that, and then all of a sudden, they disappeared.
Wait, what?
We both had that shot when we were younger.
You did.
I did.
You did. I didn't. My mom wouldn't let them do it.
My mom let them do that to me, and at one point woke up when Alan and I got back together, and my scar is gone. I don't have that scar.
I'm going to have to look for mine now. Because I was like, I almost took off my shirt. Just look,
I remember when I was a child, because I remember seeing that on other kids, and it looked so weird, like it looked like an injury with, I guess, the way it was. And I remember asking my mom what that was. I said, why am I the only one that doesn't have that cool looking scar? And she goes, because their parents don't know what they're doing, honey.
Mm-hmm.
His mom was very, very, very.
She was anti-vax before anti-vax was even thought of.
And my mom was the exact opposite.
And the cool thing was, I lived back in the day when our doctor was just like, he was an old German doctor. He was so cool. Bernard Strassman, I'll never forget him, but he was just this little old funny looking, hunched over, good natured, does magic as a hobby doctor, hometown doctor. And he was just like, you don't want your kid to have the shot? You don't have to have no shots. I'll say they did. Okay, there, we good? And that's the way it was.
Wow.
They would pencil whip it because they respected the parents' right to parent their child.
I remember when I was a kid, I remember doctors used to do that test where you have to follow the finger, right? And, that, and stick out your tongue and do this and, all these other things and everything. They would look at your fingernails, right? They would look at your elbow, the alignment of your, oh, sorry, something's in the background here. I don't know what it is.
Oh,
That sounded very weird, but it might be a goat from the neighbors' goats get loose sometimes and they snort and snuff and whatever they're doing. I don't smell it though, so ugh. Anyway, yeah, I'm sorry.
I
Yeah,
snort if you make me laugh. Alan
don't.
tries.
I know you guys know. You guys know I do too. So it's like I'm gonna try not to. Um, but anyway, so doctors used to look at all these different indicators, and it's like what they're looking at your nails for is discoloration and the moon shape of your cuticles, and all these different things that are indicators of health. And then eye color, it's like that. Do you have that gray pallor to your eyes? That indicates an infection or a sickness, like a impending fever. Those days are over. They don't do that anymore.
I was going to say
You
they
know,
don't do that anymore.
I don't think so. No, I think doctors are more worried about, well, how does your child feel when they go to bed at night? Are they safe and secure? How do they feel? That kind of. Don't worry about the psychology of the kids. Let's worry about their health in their bodies. Let's not put some poisons in there. And yeah, and it's like don't get me started on looking at the ingredients panels on the foods that kids are eating.
Uh,
Oh my God. Oh my God. So
I remember
yeah.
Alan's mom sitting down with me at the kitchen table and going, "Honey, do you know what's in those vaccinations?" And we had a nice long discussion
Yeah.
about what those vaccinations were really made of. And she goes, "Alan's been healthy his whole life."
mhm, right?
And as the kids were growing up, no, ma'am. Mm-mm, mm-mm,
Yeah.
no.
It
Yeah.
just angers me to no end that the absolute tidal wave of not just media but authority, quote unquote authority, just a huge tidal wave of information, disinformation, periodicals. You got it in magazines. And what makes me angry about it is like if you get a magazine and you're reading Self Magazine or GQ or freaking Cosmo, whatever, okay, you're going to get bombarded with all this programming about the medical industry and the so-called scientists,
Hmm.
um, and that they're trying to help you and things like that. You're paying for people to lie to you.
Right.
Same thing with
Yeah.
the TV and all the platforms. Yeah, you're paying people and they're lying to you. Now that to me is a breach of contract. I didn't go to you for the lies. I can get lies from any punk on the street or whatever. I find punks on the street more trustworthy than the freaking media. Well, I mean,
I got to
Lucky,
tell you,
we love you.
sure do.
well,
Sure do.
but think about it. It's like because you're paying for TV whether people realize it or not. You've got advertisements. That's what's paying for it, and you pay for the food and things like that. Oh yeah, speaking of food, that McDonald's might be going back to tallow for frying their French fries in instead of seed oil.
I heard something about that. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think there's a huge movement for McDonald's to do that, and I tweeted at him. I was like, "Yeah, please be the epic, the what's it called, the Tolkien-esque epic French fries that you used to have." It's like, man, that was so good.
Oh, they
I
used to be so good.
They were the best. There was a reason why people would just go there and order all the fries they can get. There's a reason why people love Five Guys burgers, right? Because of the French fries. They're done in peanut oil, right? Which is not necessarily seed oil because peanuts are, I don't know what the hell peanuts are, but it's not a normal seed oil. It's the naturally occurring oil that happens in it, and it tastes great and everything like that. But I'll tell you what, go ahead, McDonald's. Trust. You can trust. You get that stuff back in the tallow, and I'm there. Yeah, buddy.
What are you
Anyway,
looking at?
We got a tornado watch.
Oh, okay.
Watch,
not warning. Okay.
Right,
not a
just a
warning.
watch.
Includes 6 counties.
Okay, that's good enough.
I know. We're one of them, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry.
That happens like what, twice a week now?
It hadn't happened to us in a while.
Yeah,
But the past 2 days, it's been really.
Yeah, we didn't have rain for God, how many weeks?
We
7, 8
went
weeks,
7 or 8 weeks with no rain.
6, 7 weeks, something.
We
like
were
that.
we were in a fire ban.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so it's making up for the last month and a half tonight, I think.
Oh wow.
We got 5.45 inches last night, and they're expecting 3.3 additional tonight. And we're
Oh.
Riverside, so
Oh, that's pretty much. That's a lot of water.
Pretty high up.
we're pretty high up.
We're
Okay.
not worried about it.
So, what did you guys think of Helene, the hurricane that went just? I told you. I think I told you earlier that my brother said that it looks. He drives a truck through the southeast. He says it looks like it was a 150-mile wide tornado that just ripped a gash.
Right.
So
Carolina.
poor people. Oh, wow.
I'll tell you what,
I
I
can't even
never
imagine.
seen neighbors coming together like they did to help each other. And then when the governmental agency showed
Finally
up,
did
they
get
told
there.
them to leave. They had this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they show up trying to tell them how to do it, and they're just like, "How do you think we've been getting
Mm.
along since you got here? What, a week late? Get out of here!"
Did you see the guy with the mules? The guy
Yeah.
with the mules, he was carrying supplies up there because he knows those trails, he knows those mountains, and the mules know the footing. Wow, and I'm just astonished. I had a pinned tweet or pinned post on X, thanking the men that got up and helped.
Right.
And I mean, I illustrated all throughout from the guy who just had a chainsaw in his shed, and just cleared the roads for his neighbors, to the guy who saw this storm coming and he had means to do so, the billionaire status, and just had the means to start moving resources on its way out there. I mean, everybody. There was a guy in a helicopter. He had a helicopter. He had a freaking helicopter in his
Right.
backyard.
He was the first one.
And went.
Yeah, veterans,
Makes me go, "Arr, yeah,
And that was-
America,"
and that was veterans that did that stuff.
Right.
Lots of veterans and Cajun Navy, brah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
And
awesome.
I should be careful because I don't want to leave people out, so I don't want to start naming off groups,
Right.
Yeah.
But I do have to say, Code of Vets on X, I love that lady. She's talking, helping people out and everything like that. But when it happened, her family was there in the pathway of Helene, and they lost power, and she gave out her address, or gave out the address and everything, because she was out of the country when it happened. And so she gave out the address and said, please, somebody get a hold of them. I need to find out if they're okay. Please help. That was the first time she asked for help for herself, because for years, this is a woman that has been posting a veteran in need who's about to go homeless because he's about to get evicted, because he lost his job, because the VA did this or whatever. Code of Vets, for the past 10 years, has been bringing vets up and trying to help one vet at a time, and people donate and everything like that, and I've donated before when I could, but I always retweet her work, so
Yeah.
Oh.
she was helped. I mean, everybody was connected to what's going on over there,
Right. And they
Yeah.
all pulled together. At that point when disaster struck, it didn't matter your political side or anything like that. It mattered, this is my neighbor,
Bingo.
needs help.
Mm-hmm.
And they were coming in from everywhere to help and assist. These warehouses were full of stuff. And if they didn't have a certain thing, big groups were putting it out. This is what they need. And they would have it. Look at Elon Musk. I mean, it took how many seconds for him to get people up in the plane and get the Starlink to them?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
And that's the thing about having power, true power, is being able to say, hey, let me help, and go and do the thing to help. You
Right.
know,
Yeah.
hearing the problem and being able to do something about it. And that's the difference between Americans who have intelligence and resources, who are able to fix a problem and take care of things. We don't need all the government. We don't need
Right.
all
No.
these FEMA and all this other stuff. Obviously, we don't, because the helps that has happened in North Carolina, in the Carolinas and Tennessee, because that thing hit Tennessee too.
Yeah.
Those helps that happened, you know, those governors were sending off their National Guard to other countries, you know, while their, you know, relatives in the state are suffering. But it was the people with means and intelligence. Somebody communicated the need, and they said, let's get it done. And that's what happened. I mean, and I remember it's like, because my brother drives trucks, and I have a brother who lives in South Carolina. Actually, two who live in South Carolina, one in the impact area, one not so much. Brooks lives out in North Carolina, right down off the Piedmont. Yeah, so it's kind of, I was scared. Brooks was out of town. Brooks was out of the country, actually. He was on a cruise.
Yeah.
And I was filling in for him on his show when it hit, I think. And he came back right in time for this thing. For the aftermath anyway. But the thing is, you know, Americans, they got together. I mean, Nick Sorter, some rogue kid with a camera, you know, who reported on Palestine, and then Lahaina. And then when this happened, he started just buying up pizzas and bringing it to those areas so that people can eat.
Yeah.
Rescuers could eat. Everybody could eat. And now you've got anywhere that the government is involved. And I don't care about liberal, Republican, Democrat, whatever. Government getting involved, they are in the way. They're impeding progress, and they are impeding help. And to me, that's kind of, what do you call that? Well, it's not lively. It's not life thriving. It's deadly when you get in the way of things. And there's so many
Not
people.
very damn American.
It's kind of like being on a bicycle built for two, and the clown behind you has the damn brakes on. That's
Yeah.
a good analogy to me for the
I
government.
like
You got
that.
momentum going, and
Yeah.
the guy in the back is slamming on his brakes. And
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, because there was a lot of people being blocked. You know, you got
Yeah.
bureaucrats all over the place. I think that's the worst thing that happened to our country,
Oh,
is the absolute amount of bureaucrats we've got.
yeah.
Well, nothing could get done until this stamp is on it. And I mean, they just killed a squirrel. They killed a squirrel and a raccoon. Did you hear about this? Peanut the
Yeah.
squirrel. I mean,
That
I know it's a freaking stinking meme and everything like that, but this illustrates perfectly the armed bureaucracy that is allowed to do these things to the American public. And it's not about a squirrel. Come on, man. We run over squirrels all the time in the roads. Come on.
All of that over an administrative piece of crap. And that's what it was, administrative, and they made it a SWAT thing.
Oh,
Really?
Oh, some chick in Texas had actually called it in. They were in upstate New York, right? This squirrel was
Right.
in upstate New York. And
Right.
the chick in Texas, some Instagram chick,
Right.
was jealous and called it in because she was jealous of the guy's channel. Yeah, believe me, the internet is doing what the internet does, and
Right.
that woman's life is not going to be very pleasant because she had. And it's not again, it's not about the squirrel. It's about the fact that they can go in to your house, hold your person and your wife in a patrol car, and go through and destroy your house and kill the animals. Well, that's been going on for a long time. It's just the tension is so high because of the election and all the stuff, you know. The tension is so high. It's like this has become the figurehead. This little BB of a bit of information on top of all that. It's just straw that broke the camel's back. I think that's
New
what
York?
it is.
New York doesn't have enough to deal with. Really? And you got to go over this? I mean, you know, Fourth Amendment, Fourth Amendment. Who cares? It's such a suggestion.
Right? And that's something a lot of people are talking about. They're like, wait a minute, they can't handle the immigrants and the rapes and things like that. And Daniel Perry's about to go is on day one of his trial, and guess what they discovered about him? Okay, you know what they discovered about him? That the guy that he supposedly killed was actually alive when the police got there, and he had a heartbeat.
Oh,
So he didn't kill him. The guy was alive,
oh,
and the police had gave him Narcan, gave the suspect Narcan because they thought he was on drugs and everything because he was so filthy and everything. They were scared to do CPR and stuff. So they gave him Narcan, and it was after that he died.
oh,
I think he died on the way to the hospital or something like that. Yeah. So I'm sorry, Daniel Perry. For those who's listening and don't know what I'm talking about, former Marine who was on a subway
yeah.
in New York, and some guy was assaulting people and being crazy. Didn't he have a gun or a knife or something?
He was threatening to kill people.
Yeah, he was, and he had assaulted people previously. He had harassed a
Yeah,
lot of people in the subways.
yeah.
So Daniel Perry put him in a lock hold, and had to do it for a while, longer than usual. But the video, according to all the people who had video of it, the guy was still moving and everything like that. So and then he let him go and everything like that, and the police got, and he didn't escape or anything like that. But anyway, so the prosecuting attorney is going after this guy, Daniel Perry, the former Marine, who actually probably saved somebody's life, because
Probably.
what happens if you don't stop bad behavior and crimes? It escalates into worse crimes and escalates into worse behavior. And then people, it's not into, then it's going to be on the news reports. Well, he was such a nice guy. You know, you'll find
Right.
out after he murdered people and everything. Oh, but he was such a nice guy. He was just confused.
Yeah,
Just,
yeah,
yeah. Anyway,
yeah.
so I tilted again, didn't I?
It's okay. I'm going to say it again. We love you, Lucky.
Yeah, we do.
Because you're bomb.
Well, it's been a long time. We haven't talked like this in a long time.
Right, right. I mean, God, we haven't even done a show in almost a year.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Been a long time.
We're a little bit out of practice.
A little bit.
Oh no, we're getting back in there because
We're not used to being on video, so I mean,
Right.
you know.
me neither. Me neither.
We got to the point where the eye contact was crazy.
Yeah,
And it was like,
yeah.
we started out doing videos and then Spirit just said, pull them.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So,
So
Anyway.
well, you know what you can do. You don't have to do video. You can put a graphic up and do vocal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just put up a graphic and
we're saying how special you are, honey.
do what?
We're just telling you how special you are.
Oh, I love you, girl. But yeah, I mean, the same thing with me. It's like I'm camera shy. Believe it or not. People look, they don't think I'm camera shy. I am super camera shy. Okay, it's incredible.
You're not shy about anything else, but camera shy, you're camera shy.
Oh my goodness. Your
Yeah.
your growth has been so phenomenal throughout the entire time we've known you.
Oh, thank you.
Your growth has been phenomenal.
I'm trying to think about, okay, 2016. Oh, yeah, I remember our first phone call. Oh, my God. That was
Yeah.
awesome. You guys, I mean, when I heard you guys talking, I'm like, yes! Yes! That's what we need! This is what we need! You know?
I was sitting outside the day you were talking to
Yeah.
Alan, just
Yeah.
sitting outside in the
That was
grass, and I'm like, "You go, baby, you go." So he's going to meet with you
I'm
guys,
like,
and
okay.
he's like, "Okay." I'm like, "I'll be right outside if you need me." And pretty soon he comes walking out, and he goes, "They want to talk to you too." I'm like, "Me? Why do they want to talk to me?" And he goes, "Well, I guess we're going to do this together." And I'm like, "Oh no, we're not."
I remember one of the last things I remember saying to you before we hung up the conversation and agreed to everything was, I don't know how we're going to fill 2 hours, And you were like, well, we just went for, what was it, an hour? And that seemed like it was a blink and it's gone. So you'll be fine. I was like, okay.
Really? I said that? Oh my God.
Yeah. It was like, okay, by the time we got done with the conversation, I told Alan, I might be able to do this if you can guide me through it, honey. And he goes, you got this.
I got you.
Yeah.
Guys, really, I thought you had been doing it for years already. That's how that rapport between you two and the speaker, and I really thought you had been at it. I knew you had been on the radio, Alan. I mean, I knew that. But Sandra, same thing with you. I thought you guys were a team all this time. I mean, I know you were a team, but radio team or a presenter team. I thought you guys were a presenter team all this time.
Well, we were doing sessions with people back then when you talked to us. Yeah. So we do that together with clients.
All we had to do was just transfer that to radio, and it was that's it.
He had to help me find my voice.
I never would have known.
I was a nervous wreck.
What?
Yeah. Okay. And he's like, okay, let's just play with this, honey. And we found out that the quieter I would get and the more soft tone I would get, the better that we actually balance together. His is real deep and mine's real soft. And he would say, just bring it down a notch. And even doing the intros and outros and different things that we were doing, he was...
do outros and intros, buffers. You guys, your buffers are awesome. I love your buffers. For those who are not in the industry, a buffer is when somebody's going in or out of the going to break and coming back from a break. That's a buffer, or whatever have you. But that music background and announcements, it can be used as an ad too. So there you go. Just so that the audience knows what the hell we're talking about.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was the most amazing growth experience of my life. And Alan just kind of went through it because he knew I'd been on the radio as like a guest or something, but never, think about it. He was on a morning talk show with the owner of the radio station and he could talk about anything.
Right.
And I was like, what am I going to talk about? I'm just going to be sitting there.
Yeah, right.
Oh, no.
Hey, same thing. It's like my first time going on air. I was like, I knew I had something to say, but my first time ever going on air by myself, and maybe I should have been a guest on other people's shows, so that. Well, I had done stuff I had done stuff before that, but not on my own show. I have 40 pages of news items. I have 40 pages. I was done in 1 hour, and it was a 2-hour show.
I remember that. I do.
Like, oh my God. Take a breath, girl.
But, after a while, it's like I learned, and, I did have good guidance. To be fair, I had very good guidance, and I had good instruction. And when I did something right, the right way, I got to hear about it, which, see, that's how I learn best, is when I do something correctly, and you say, good job, you did it this way, and this is exactly how you did it, that's how you do it. That's how I learn, okay? It's the input after the learning or after the event that teaches me. So if it's either really good, I'm going to learn it. If it's really bad, I'm going to learn it.
Right.
Like somebody told me, I remember when I was in the Marine Corps, if somebody was teaching me how to use a computer, they said, never ever do this, Control Alt Delete. They said, never do that. Guess what? Boom. I remembered the hand motion and everything,
Yep.
Oops. Don't tell me never to do something if you don't want me to do it. Just don't do it. Don't teach me how to do it. Because I didn't know anything about computers. How would I know how to do that unless somebody taught me?
Yeah.
Right?
Alan was the best teacher I had when it came to doing radio. And then once we got into it and actually realized, man, we're really good at this. And we can just look at each other and know through movement
Right.
of our eyes or anything
Well, yeah,
that
it
the
helps
other
that we've
one
been
wanted to
together
speak. Yeah.
for so long, you know.
Yeah.
So
Well, yeah, you guys, yeah, you know each other. It's kind of like
yeah,
not two peas in a pod. No, you guys are like two
yeah,
halves of the apple, you know?
yeah.
We had a very amazing couple back in the day, and it was Rebecca and Dan.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Um,
From the Disclosure Project, Dan Willis.
Mm-hmm.
and they told us, do you not realize that by coming into balance the way you are, you're helping everyone to realize this is the way the world is supposed to be. And the
Mm-hmm.
world can't see that this is the way it's supposed to be. So
Right.
they're going to end up going in the opposite direction. And they were amazing at making us feel
Yeah.
like there is a purpose for us being on this planet.
Well, I could have told you that. Well, I mean, no, it's good. You have to get the input. That's the thing, especially from people who have been experienced in the field that you're in. You've got to get that input so that you know you're doing the right thing when you do it. Um,
It
yeah,
helps. Yeah, it helps.
yeah. you gotta-
I'm not even joking when I say we have the opportunity to experience both sides of the coin. It's always been that way.
Mhm.
If it's really good, we can guarantee that further down the road, maybe not too far down the road, we're going to experience the exact opposite.
Yeah.
And it's us not stepping into the judgment of it was right or wrong and just realizing we're having the two polar opposite experiences so that we can come into balance in a much more graceful, with ease and grace is what we say.
Okay, I like it. I
Yeah,
like it.
it works out better that way. But we learned that even when things are going really, really bad, we can stay really, really calm now.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
And
helps.
I think that's funny. It's like after what decades? We've been around for a few decades, right? So after decades of going through different trials, different things that just totally upset the apple cart. It's funny. It's like when stuff happens like that again, you're looking at it, you're like, oh, it's a rerun. You know,
Right?
Yeah,
We're doing this
we've
again.
done this again. And the younger people or people who have never experienced adversity, they're like losing their and it's like, would you please just stop screaming, stop screaming, stop screaming, stop screaming. Will you take a breath? Do I have to hold your nose? Stop screaming. you know Gosh, we can't think when you're screaming. It's like there's a solution. Let us think for a minute.
no doubt.
And
Chill.
kind of like
Relax.
We learned some really good techniques to cut that energy off, didn't we?
Yeah, for sure.
that was you.
That
Not
one's
me.
me.
That was
you.
us.
Ding. My computer doesn't do that. Linux, honey. I do not do Microsoft stuff. Nope. I don't get the weird noises. I don't get the weird updates. I mean, yes, I get updates, but it's clean. It's like, I'm not getting the weird. Your computer's been infested with blah blah blah. I don't have
Oh,
melodrama that Microsoft has, or Apple or whatever.
yeah.
It's so. Oh my god. My phone, however, does have Google and some Microsoft stuff on it, and that's melodramatic. That little phone is that's all the melodrama I allow in my life. Because it's like two-factor authentication, or somebody tried to get into your account. Blah, blah, blah. Shut up. It's like,
This is the first time, actually, that we've been able to really get through something without having a hiccup.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Hey,
Yeah, it seems to have gone really smooth. No lag, no buffering, nothing.
we'll go with no messages for a while and
Okay.
think, wow, that's kind of odd. How come we don't have a message?
True.
And then we'll find out, well, the phone wasn't working or the computer wasn't working correctly, or they decided that that wasn't an important enough message for us to get, and it comes in 3 weeks later.
Oh shit. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. way
Oh,
late.
you guys have been just, well, it wasn't time then, I guess.
Yep.
That's
Just
all
one time.
we could say.
Lucky we didn't even have Skype until after we talked to you today. And ask Alan,
It just went away.
it went away,
Went away.
and now it came back.
Okay.
Yeah. So
It's time.
again, we just go with it. Just
Okay,
go.
so guess what? We're gonna have to talk tomorrow, and I'll help you get set up on Rumble and get all those things going and everything like that so that you can have your regular show. And it's called Twin Flame Divine Fire on Rumble also. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Twin Flame
That's it.
Divine Fire.
Everything is Twin Flame Divine Fire.
That's the way to do it. Consistency on that one.
That and bad memory helps.
We do have to think about that anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know how the heck Brooks does it. He's on
I'll
American.
go with yours. So consistency sounds so much better.
Right.
Whose?
I can't remember what when
Twin Flame Divine Fire?
Right. Consistency. I'm just kidding.
He's being a
Thank you.
dork.
Okay, I'm like, I lost something there. And see, sometimes I miss a word here and there, you know. Oopsie. It's okay. But yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna have to get you on there and get you on Rumbles because I miss hearing you guys. I miss hearing you with guests. I miss the singing bowl that you do. I had to pack mine up because I'm in a smaller space now. I'm like, I miss it.
Yeah. Oh, thanks.
We've had guests that keep sending us messages. I'm ready to go back on your show. I said we're not set up yet, so
You'll get
we've
there.
already got people that are
Chomping
ready
at the
to
bit.
come on.
Yeah.
Yep. And it's time. It's time.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
regardless of who wins the election or gets in office or whatever,
Whatever.
and we got to
Right.
get going.
Yeah.
People are depending on us, and I'm definitely depending on you. And it's funny. It's like, oh, excuse me. It's like we listen to each other, not because we're just like, oh, we're going to be fanboys. No, it's because I think we all feed each other.
Right.
You know.
Well, things have been crazy leading up to this, and I don't think it's going to go down. I think the level of crazy is going to go up.
I
I'm
agree.
still optimistic, but the
Mhm.
level of crazy is going to go up,
Right.
and we're going to be here for that.
Well, we definitely have to have comms. Okay, so you know, our alternative to Skype, let's say, we've got to get you on there and get that working for you. But if everything's starting to line up now, technologically speaking, I think it's going to be a lot easier. I don't like Skype. I don't like Skype anymore. I don't want
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
I mean, especially after what just happened to you, and it wasn't just you. There's other people who are having problems with Skype. Okay.
Yeah.
Every time we go through a major convergence, I don't know if you remember this or not, we'll have a whole list of guests that we had on our show.
Mhm.
And we go through a convergence. And once we get through that convergence, our entire Skype will go down and we can't get into it no matter what.
Yeah.
So when you go to look up Skype, we may have 3 or 4 Skypes because that's how many convergence we went through.
Oh. Well, here's a pretty thing about this. You notice the Rumble, how easy it was to get you on, right?
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is your Rumble studio, and right now we are on Rumble, YouTube, Facebook, and X. We're broadcasting all over the place. Okay.
Cool.
Without Skype. Without
Right.
Skype.
Yeah.
Yes, we did it. I'm like, oh no, Skype, yes. And we don't have to pay Skype for it. We don't have to, because that's part of the Google apparatus, Microsoft apparatus. I think it's part of the Google apparatus, something like that. Anyway, but it's like, Skype used to be wonderful. It used to be
Yeah.
a wonderful thing until Microsoft bought it. And then they just turned it into an app. I'm like, I was so disgusted when I was like, I don't want this. It's like Candy Crush for Skype or something.
Right?
Right.
No, I don't play Candy Crush. You know,
Mm.
it took me a long time to learn out what that was. I didn't know what that was. It's like Candy Crush. I'm like, what's Candy Crush? I didn't know. I had to look it up. Isn't it funny that you have to look up all these terms and phrases that people use? You know, they make up all kinds of new things now. I'm like, what does that mean? Like, I was telling you earlier about children learning how to twerk.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh. Mm, mm.
I don't
I
think
had to look
so.
that word up when I came back to the United States. I was like, what the hell is this twerking thing? What is twerk? And I had to look it up. And I'm doing that. No, it's no, no.
Mm, no.
Do I look like a twerker? No.
I don't
Maybe
know.
a few years ago I might have been, but my hips don't allow that anymore.
Not even a gunpoint.
It's like I have a
Not
hard
even a
time getting
gunpoint.
out of an RV bed. My
Yeah.
my hip will lock up, and Alan will go, "You okay, honey? I'm fine. I'll work it through."
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at me.
I'm a short person getting in a really tall RV bed. I'm going to tell you, it is not all you think it is.
Okay. So if I don't have a specific firm mattress, my hips feel like they're falling apart. Okay, and I don't know what to do about it aside from exercises, and that's just keeping me so that I can walk. I don't know what the heck is going on, but I think mattresses are not being made properly anymore, you know? Because when I was, if you remember when we were kids, we didn't have isofoam mattresses. Remember we had ticking in our mattresses in the old days? That was some, and the problem with that
Yeah.
kind of mattress, it was not the mattress, it was actually the springs underneath it.
The
Is that,
springs underneath of it were the ones that would poke through.
but I remember when I was in the military and we had that ticking kind of mattresses, right? And instead of the springs and everything, because there was nothing in the regulations that said that I couldn't put a piece of put a big piece of plyboard underneath it to keep it from bowing. And I
Oh
got
yeah.
some good sleep. It worked. Just slap that in there. We don't need springs. I think springs have been hard, and now foam mattress is basically air springs, if you will, just,
Yeah.
the chemical, whatever. But yeah, so um, yeah, I'm falling apart. I feel like I'm falling apart. It's like, because
Yeah, we're all getting older. Whatever.
no, I think it actually has to do with the mattresses because I'm not going to sleep on the floor. I refuse. Okay. Yeah, I cross my arms. I refuse to sleep on the floor. But that actually, I know that when I've had previous back issues in my history, the best way to get over it is take a yoga mat, that small isophone thing, put that on the floor, sleep on that. You're going to get some good sleep and your back's going to realign naturally. Because I mean, if you think about it, in the old days before furniture, we're talking prehistoric man and everything, or caveman and cavewoman stuff. Guess where they slept? They didn't have mattresses and stuff.
No.
They didn't have back problems like we got now. Well, I mean, they didn't survive very much because Tyrannosaurus Rex got them. But anyway, um,
Alan is the only 62-year-old man, almost 62.
Almost.
I'm going to give you
Close.
some leeway.
Yeah. Yeah.
That can still sit Indian style.
oh, I sit Indian style. Yeah, I'm sitting Indian style right now on my
Yeah.
My
chair.
legs go numb.
Oh, do they? No, well, all my life I've always sat Indian style, the cross
Yeah.
leg. Yeah, I've always sat like that all my life.
I sit cross-legged, and my
Me too.
hips are going to go wonky, and Alan's going to end up taking me to the hospital.
Oh, wow. Well, it's funny too. It's like, I also do that, it's like if, outside doing whatever have you, and it's like everything's wet, I squat like, the Japanese do.
Yeah.
I can squat for hours, you know?
Him
Yeah.
too.
Okay.
If
Yeah.
I squat, Alan's going to have to get me up.
Poor baby. I'm sorry. But I bet you make I bet you have physical abilities that we might not have.
Right? I do.
Okay.
I have endurance that is unreal.
She does.
Mhm.
Yeah, she does.
See?
Yep.
There you go. There
Yeah.
you go.
So I
Anyway.
can do.
All right.
I'm gonna wrap this up because like you guys we've been on for an hour and 44 minutes.
Wow. Cool.
Good. See?
Wow.
It goes by fast, so you don't have to gripe about doing 2 hour show.
We're gonna
Really,
come back.
really,
Yeah.
do what?
Nothing.
Really, I really want to see you on air. I mean, and of course we do too. It's like so Truth Refugee. Oh yeah, we were talking about that. we rabbit tailed all over the place, didn't we?
Right.
Right.
Kind of like took that path that's on my pattern back here, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
I like it. It's Nordic and it's yeah, it's cool. Um,
Well,
Chia, uh, excuse me, Truth Refugee. We we got Zach Hubbard on there now. Um, Car- Carlton is there also from the Pharmacy Seeds Network. I'm sorry, Zach Hubbard is Gematria Effect, Free to Find Truth. We've got Paisley Wild on there, Spaces Between,
Cool, yeah.
myself, and we're going to start doing roundtables on Friday nights. I hope on Friday nights, and that, you know, Freeman will be able to jump in on those. He better.
Okay.
You know, let's see. And the thing about the roundtable, it's not going to be, it's just going to be us talking, you know, and we're going to have individual hosts host it, you know, on a rotating basis. That way, no one person is going to be manipulating the whole thing. It's going to be everybody, and it's like, you know,
Yeah.
and we're going to call it live rounds.
5 rounds. Cool name. Cool name.
You know? Live rounds. You know me. Hey, I'm the girl who had the address on Gun Barrel Road, right?
Of
right.
course.
I remember when you saw that. You were like, only
Oh my
Lucky would have an address on Gun Barrel Road.
But it's been an honor. Thank you very
yeah,
much.
thank you,
I'm
Lucky.
so glad. I'm so happy you guys are got through that weather thing, no problem. And no, really, it's like, call me tomorrow and on my phone, and I will happily help you get through this. And you probably can see on your screen where I am and where you guys are, and how the split screen work. The studio is freaking awesome. I'll be happy to help you with that. You can do videos, you could do all kinds of stuff. You can put video clips in there. Share screen. Oh wow! And it's not OBS. OBS is so convoluted and chaotic for me. I don't. I just. I can't do the OBS thing. It's just yeah. You know, it's too much. You know.
Alan knows about OBS.
Yeah, I started messing with that. It's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, and some people can do it. Brooks Agnew can do it. Paisley can do it. All these people can do it. Hey, I'll step back. Hey, you know, that's the thing. Is like I grew up, and that's one of the places where I've grown, as you said. Knowing my limitations and just stepping back and saying, nope, I don't know how to do it, and I can't be taught, and it's just not happening. Stop asking me to do that. It would be like me wearing a size 3 shoe. I can't do it.
All right.
You know.
Right.
So,
Okay.
yeah, so Rumble Studio, as you can see, fire it up and go. You know, and you got the links, and you just.
Yeah.
Yay! I'm so glad we did this. Yay!
Very
I
nice.
love you guys. I really did. I love you guys.
We love you.
We love you, hon.
And thank you so much.
Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you. Thank you for coming on. I'm so glad. Yay! I'm so happy. Okay, well,
Tomorrow.
guys, I'll see you soon. I'll probably be on again tomorrow night because it's going to be election day. Oh my god. Oh god, I gotta go vote. Oh,
Oh, yeah. True.
I know I'm getting here going like this. Sorry to all of my international people who do not understand my hesitancy or reticence to voting, but it's different here in America. You know, you know, there's people in other countries they would just love to be able to vote.
Yeah.
I was going to say tomorrow's election day. There's a lot going on, and we got a full schedule tomorrow. We can clear Wednesday, and we'll get together on Wednesday.
Wednesday's fine. Just you're not dropping off the edge. Nope. Not letting you go, honey.
All right, baby.
Love you guys. And bye to everybody out there. Be sure to tune into truthrefugee.com. It's just Google truthrefugee.com and it'll take you to the site. We've got all kinds of hosts there. We've got all kinds of news things. People we really like a lot. And all truth, and we're all refugees. When you see the font, you'll see it. You'll be like, yep. That makes, and especially those of you who know our history. Okay, well, you know, the Truth Refugee, you see the dinghy with the little sail on it and everything, Truth Refugee. You know? And we're going to be communicating all through the upcoming struggle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and the upcoming good stuff too.
Right.
Love you guys. Mwah.
Love you too, hon.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody in the world. Where's the end thingy? There it is. Bye.